for this usage, right? So when the temperature alerts actually pop up, would you have somebody actually there to click on the face and be able to see that gentleman's wearing a blue mask with blue jeans, a black shirt? You know, you'll see all that information as you go. The next one too is that can the end user provide a PC or a laptop within the specifications of the CMS software? And I know those are fairly small, but as far as deploying these systems, we will provide you, if you would ask for it from Jack and the team, we can provide you with information such as your minimum server requirements to run that system. Just know that the more traffic that you'll have, the more processing power the system will require, right? And 6, can the system be connected to the local site, network, and internet? And this just means in regards to being able to download ActiveX because the system is still fairly new. It works off of Internet Explorer and ActiveX, so things like that that we might have to install into your system that you are not prepared for on the get-go, we will help you with that on site as well. Again, with us being local, it is very unique that we are based here in Los Angeles and everything. So if you guys do have a site to visit with us or a site that you want to deploy the system, you purchase a system, you want to deploy it, let us know. We'll, Ted and I will actually go out to the site with you and actually help you, I guess, run through a 4-hour technical process of how to deploy the system, who can be the admin, we'll kind of write guidelines for you guys as we go. All right, so we won't just sell you the product and run away. We'll be here to support you locally, and you have my contact information and Ted as well. All right, so the methods of deployment of the thermographic cameras, you're looking at, here is your standalone system. Again, there's different ways you can mount this system. Different ways you can, deploy the system however you need to. What you saw there on that video was just a standalone operation demo that we just used a laptop, plugged right into the camera, the black body reference, and then we had people walking through the scene, and that's what you saw there. Again, the CMS software, I don't know if I mentioned that, but it is a free software. So when you purchase the camera, that is free, that comes with the software, or comes with the camera software and the black body and everything. The other method, you're looking at, let's say if you're sending it to an FTP site, if you want somebody to be monitoring from a remote location, that is available. This wouldn't be something that you would maybe monitor 30 or 40 people walking through. You still would want somebody to be on site to be able to, send the traffic somewhere else, right? But here's kind of an example when you're actually networking the camera, and we'll actually go into a site too, so we'll actually see what that actually is. So. And then the last but not least, the network enhanced operation. We have multiple of them. Again, very simple because the cameras are ONVIF compliant. They can just send an RTSP stream to really any VMS that's currently recording any IP streams out there, as long as they're ONVIF compliant. It'll be good. And let's take a look at that now, actually. Let's see, 1 second. So here's an example, because I know I wanted to segue this in regards to our VMS. If you guys are not familiar, we do have our own VMS. It's called Costar. And we'll go to a site. Let's see. This site is in Clovis. Yes, sir.
If you are accessing web services, it looks like WebEx here is giving you a gray box. Not. Okay. That's what I'm seeing. I don't know if that's what other people are seeing, but once you went to the web interface, it's not feeding the video.
Yeah, I'm seeing a gray box now as well. I thought that it was going to.
Gotcha.
We usually use GoToMeeting and don't have this kind of issue with that, but that's quite possibly what is going on. There you go. All right.
There we go.
Can you guys see that?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to exit out and then do that all over again. Sorry about that, guys. So accessing our web services is through here. Let's go to AirComp Vision. I'm going to log out. There we go. There we go.
Much better.
We're going to go to, so these are all the remote sites we can log into here based on that account. We're going to go to the demo site in Fresno. All right, guys, keep in mind I am on Wi-Fi, so might not be the greatest shot here. All right. Okay, so I don't know if can you guys see this okay? I hope.
Yeah, it looks good. It's clear.
Okay, perfect, perfect. So you guys can see here, this is the entrance of our office in Clovis. This is actually our two megapixel camera, I believe, that's looking at the hallway. So this is the camera, how it's mounted. The black body reference here off to the side, obviously their capture value here. And what I want to show you guys here, obviously, is this is live, right? We're on Wi-Fi live and everything, and we're remoting into this thing. So I want to show you guys how it actually triggers, like, let's say, recorded video. So if you wanted to look back and say, I wanted to see every time there was somebody that came through here, a little blue box will tell you that somebody's moving. Okay, let's take a look at this footage. Play.
There you go.
He's 99.2 degrees, so he's a little hot, but he's not exceeding anything. So in the VMS itself, when we actually have somebody here that's, I guess, you know, from the inside of our office, they'll see if this gentleman has a hot temperature or not. Now, obviously, because as you can see here, this person was coming from the outside, there are variables, again, that's going to make his forehead or her forehead hot, right? So, and what I'll actually show another clip here that this I thought was, here we go.
And unfortunately, we're getting the issue again. Yeah, getting the gray screen again, Ernie.
Oh, wait, one second.
Well, he figures that out. That's an important point that Ernie makes, and that's one of the reasons we recommend having at least a stable temperature through the capture area.
Can you guys see this okay?
Yeah, there it is.
Okay, cool. So here's an example, because we get this question quite a bit, and because we don't have a lot of sick people that we're actually, you know, we're capturing with these devices, we have to fake hot foreheads in this case, and this is an example of Matthew actually heating his forehead to about 138 degrees with a hot cup of coffee. And you can kind of see how long it takes for his head to return to ambient temperature. And that's kind of, oh, there you go. So he's heating his head up to about 140 degrees. That cup, as you can see there, the surface of the head. So from beginning now. So he does ring up. And now he's back to normal, right? So I don't know if you guys counted that, but it's anywhere between 15 to 20 seconds, right? So for your skin to acclimate itself to its ambient temperature. So think about that when you run into variables out there from, let's say, a really, really hot parking lot that is, you know, uncovered and everything. You wouldn't want to set the thermal camera to detect them directly right as soon as they enter the building. You're going to want to either build a cooling station or somehow to maybe have a covering for a few seconds for that individual to go through maybe a cooling path to be able to lower his or her temperature down to a appropriate amount. Or what we've done also in some locations is we really just put the person to the side for a few seconds and have that person come through the pickup zone or this blue zone that you see here. Right. All right. Let me go back to this. So again, we're being able to we can see his head here that is actually a little hot. Again, it's picking up. Every time it finds a forehead, it will pick up the temperature. Again, this is going on our VMS, which is, actually, this is probably one of, so here, actually, okay, let's see what happens here. I think it might just be the back of his head. Okay, we didn't capture it. So just know that it will not pick up the back of your head. It won't pick up that. It is going to be looking for your forehead. So if you are somebody that is, with really thick bangs, or if you have a hat on, or if you have a helmet on, or I don't know, whatever you have on your head, a beanie or something, you will want to take that off to get the most accurate reading on your forehead. Just a heads up on that. And here's an example.
Just to clarify,
which
build hats will obscure your forehead from the system, correct?
That is correct. Yes, that is correct.
You're gonna get variable operation with a hat.
Right.
Again, it can detect a face with a mask, which you saw at the school demo that we were doing.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, certain things can definitely obscure it. One thing that we know for a fact is going to cause an issue, at least with the temperature, is face shields. In a medical setting, a face shield, the thermal camera can't see through the plexiglass.
Right, because it reflects light.
Yeah, it also reflects the thermal signature.
Right. Okay, thank you.
So here's an example of the Costar web services, the cool part of this here. So I'll just kind of say here, I wanted to get the last, this reading here, this gentleman walking in. So I wanted to export the last 5 seconds of this, or let's say not 5 seconds, but 10 seconds worth. Put there, mobile, I'm just going to put high or original quality. Put next, thermal demo capture. And now it's going to the cloud. If you guys are familiar with sharing USBs and things like that, this is something that would be fairly unique to you, is that you're no longer needing to share USBs or anything like that. And I'll show you, actually, I'll use you as an example, Jack, if you don't mind. And then if you could share your screen, that would be really cool to watch as well.
Sure thing.
All right, so let's see here. So I'll go here. All right, we'll go to video clips. So here's our demo that we just took here. And give me 1 second, Jack. All right, so as you can see here, this is what we picked up. This is what we sent to the cloud. Now we're able to share this with Jack. So again, going to Jack here. And set expiration date. So I want Jack to have this until the end of the month. And I want Jack to be able to download the clip. All right. And let's go ahead and share that to Jack. I don't know if you want to, if I can.
Yeah, I'll take over the screen as soon as I get that email.
Awesome. But as you can see here, Jack will get the email here in a little bit. It'll actually ask him to confirm that it is the email that he receives, so he'll probably have to generate an account for a quick minute. But what you see here is you can see that this is a guest user. This is who I sent the link to. It's shared by date, the expiration. Can he download it? How many times has he viewed it? How many times has he downloaded it? And if I do want to not share it, I can go ahead and click that off and click it back on if I need to, right? So being the admin of this, of let's say an account like this, you can give yourself, let's say, total control of where your footage is going, right? And I don't know if you got that yet, Jack, or not.
No, I'm not seeing my email yet. I would,
Okay.
as soon as I do, I'll
It might go to your junk, because it does piggyback off of it is an automated thing.
No, I'm monitoring my spam account as well. My spam box, nothing in there yet.
All right. So I'm going to come back here just for a second. I know we're on the thermal camera and everything, but if you guys have any questions in regards to the Costar web services, the flexibility of the cloud itself, being able to share footage like that, and also being able to have management services to that. And again, kind of integrating everything because we are on the system, we can kind of show you the integration. So this is just a normal, regular megapixel camera. This is obviously your thermal camera with a capture zone. and other unique cameras like your, like your fish eyes, I guess, if you wanted to interact with it and actually be able to see the footage. As you can see here, we blotched over some stuff that I want you to see. But that's the camera, right? You're able to, or that's the VMS itself. You're actually able to integrate without me having to go through a thick client software. I'm actually just doing this through a web browser, right? And again, being able to export from a remote location and having use of that. I don't know if I can show this, but maybe. Oh, Jeff, did you say something?
Yeah, sorry, I didn't want to speak over you. I got the clip. If you would like me to,
yeah, go ahead, man.
Control the presenter just so everybody how that works. Okay, gotta give myself.
I think you have to go to share content. Yeah, there you go.
You see it now?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. So I just received the email. I'm going to set up a quick guest user account right here. And
making sure you're 16, man.
Yeah, confirming that I'm of age. Go to the login page. Beautiful. So easy.
Cool. So yeah, that's the first time I've actually done that, to show this on a webinar. So that's
nice.
pretty cool.
I'm glad it went without a hitch. That's risky business.
Yeah.
All right, I'll
Hey, we live on the edge. Perfect, perfect.
There you go.
Awesome. All right. Are you able to see my screen?
Yeah, you're clear.
Okay, perfect, perfect. So right here, this is that camera that we're seeing down that hallway, right? Something that's very unique to our system is that, again, if you can imagine yourself being the integrator, being able to, let's say, make final tweaks and changes and not have to be on site. Here's something really cool. Again, I'm on Wi-Fi. We're on a webinar. This camera, or this site is in Fresno, California. I'm in West Hollywood. And I'll show you guys kind of a very unique thing that I don't know. For me, I think it's still very unique to us. I don't know if anybody really else is able to do this just yet. But so think of yourself as a customer that said, hey, I want to sharpen up those shots at night. Let's say everybody can get a really good shot during the color, right? During when it's color time, great sunlight and everything. But when things actually happen, you usually want to do that at night, right? So if you can imagine being able to remotely log into that camera as if you're behind the switch. Hope this is not password protected. If it is, it might be SOL. Okay, good. Perfect. Awesome. So now we're able to get into the actual camera's internal settings as if we were on the local switch. So if I wanted to, let's say the camera was flipped upside down, we can flip the camera 180 degrees, right? The camera's flipped, the video that's being sent to the recorder is now flipped. I'll flip it back to normal because I don't want to get in trouble. Again, if you wanted to, let's say you didn't have wide dynamic range set out there, maybe you wanted to turn it on, maybe you wanted to turn it off without having to roll out a truck or a location or anything like that, just port through. You can make all your changes here and there. You can click off the on and shutter. Actually just make all your remote changes as if you were actually there on site. So pretty unique to this system, which I think to me is just a plus to having the system of having the web services also working alongside all your other IP cameras and things like that. Let's see here. So if you guys have any questions about that, I know I kind of just went through the web services portion on I guess a couple of things to maybe to bring up on this is that the system will reduce kind of your IT overhead, right? So It eliminates port forwarding, no more DDNS, no client-side programming. Everything's done in the cloud as far as setting up the system. So one login, one password. You can pretty much generate a filing cabinet of folders of different customers that you can really have a big tree of let's say, I'll just give you guys an idea here. So all these sites are sites from all over the world, right? So there's a site that is all the way in Boston. There's a site that's in Glendale. There's a site in Fresno and Clovis. So being able to manage this all with one click is really cool. I'll actually go to a site. Let's say I wanted to this is one of the local sites that we just recently had. And here's the cameras, right? Here's an exterior shot of the camera. I hope you guys can see this. Pretty cool.
Yeah,
as far as being able to, yeah, you guys can see that. So this is a live shot of Huntington Beach, right? Parking lot and everything. So this is just kind of one of those things that I thought was, very interesting to be able to give and actually I think we're even viewing at low res. So here's high res. Right. A little sharper, a little bit more bandwidth. Not going to be, but again, we are on Wi-Fi. The system doesn't take too much bandwidth in regards to other systems. It's not as taxing on your bandwidth as other systems are. So we can pull streams still from even as low as a 1 meg stream like a DSL line. And we've done it in several locations. Ted is definitely aware of those locations. But other than that, that's really all I wanted to be able to give you guys is, just think of us as that we have unique solutions, not just the thermal side, but our Made in America products, which are our actual IP cameras and everything, remote setup solutions, cameras that move around. Let's say, for example, this one. If you guys can see this. If you guys have not seen this camera, you guys have to see this camera. Let me know if this is something that you guys want to be able to test on site. Actually, I'll show you guys a demo that I recently captured with this camera. Yesterday. So again, because we are local, because we are, we can be on site here. I can show up on site with you guys and actually help with, so again, remote focus, remote zoom. I went out there with a cart and actually tested the camera because the customer wanted to see this new camera. So again, being able to capture, I don't know if we can see that, but I'm going to go to high res. Not quite a license plate, but a pretty good overview of the entire block, right? So I'm moving the sensor here remotely. I'm actually at the bottom here of the pole. But again, it's one of those things where if you've never seen our cameras on site before, bring us a curveball. Bring us a curveball. Bring us any project that you guys might be needing to reduce the footprint of these locations. Again, this camera that we're seeing here is a one-headed camera. It's, it's this guy right here. You guys can see this. So it's got 4 heads remotely positioned with remote focus zoom lenses on them. And it was able to capture this type of footage. And I think I'll end it there, man. Hopefully, if you guys have any questions.
That was so educational, Ernie. Thank you so much. If any of our viewers right now do have any questions for either you or Ted, now would be the time to ask. We got a few more viewers on our Facebook stream than we did here, and unfortunately, they can't ask questions from there.
Well, they have them email in they can, feel free to have them email you the information. And again, guys, because, a lot of these times we are just doing webinars, so feel free to request from Jack if you guys want a private webinar. We can do these kinds of things on the fly and maybe tackle anything on site with you as well. So feel free to invite us on site with you, do a site walk with you. All those services are free, and again, you can work with cctv.net on making that happen as well.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Ernie.
Yeah, what's the approximate deployment time for someone who's never set up this system before?
Great question. Great question. So that is actually a great answer for Ted. I don't know if you're still on the thing here.
Yeah,
Ted?
I'm still here, and I think I can answer that because we just had some real-time experience with that. So, assuming we are aware of the expectations, some of those 6 questions that Ernie brought up, and we pre-qualified, and there's a PC on site. To actually get the camera up and configured for the first time, going through the menus and putting in the data, I would say probably 15 to 20 minutes if we know what to expect. If you're out of the box and we're not joining you, it might be a little bit more, but we have some FAQs and some cheat sheets to get you through that. I would say if you are deploying the temperature monitoring system, you do want to have at least 2 tools with you besides the PC and the ability to mount the camera in the black box. And that would be at least some way to reference a thermometer, like a laser thermometer, or even a handheld thermal camera, something of that sort, so you can get ambient temperature and measurements of some of the reference points through the scene that you pick. The other thing you would want to have is a way to do some measurement for those points. You do need to input the distances to different points from the camera in the scene. So having the ability to provide relatively accurate measurements, a laser measuring tape or even a steel one if you've got one, those would probably be advisable tools to have when you set up. But yeah, 15 or 20 minutes. It's mainly just inputting the data for the scene so it knows what it's referencing and how far away it is. And then just defining the black box and plugging it into the CMS system, which it will auto detect. If they're on the same network, the camera and the CMS, it does a really good job of detecting it. And then you just customize the view that you want your operators to see. Did that answer that?
Yeah, thanks so much.
Any more questions for these guys? All right. In that case, thank you so much, Ernie. Thank you so much, Ted. I really appreciate you guys and everyone else at AV Costar helping us to deliver this information to our customers.
Hey,
Thank you. Appreciate it, guys. Look forward to it. Reach out to us anytime.
Bye.
Bye.
All right. Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.